Mm, mm, mm. What's up, yo? What's today? The 20. It was about to be midnight. MXC was shaking, my dog. Hold on, let me look at the Okay, it's the 21st. Shout out to you on the building. Today is October 21st, Tuesday, October 21st, 2025, 11:57 p.m. Eastern time. It's about to be the 22nd. Um, you know, I haven't been going live. I'm supposed to see CB CB times. Call priority. What CP stand for? Not Central Pacific. I think it stand for Cocolo priority. Um, and I'm tired as fuck. I had a long day today. Not for nothing, yo. The next, wait, it's about to be Wednesday. The next, the next week and a half, the next 10 days is gonna be crazy for me. My job, my job is about to send me to the whitest state in the United States. The whitest state in the US. And you already know I'm bringing my camera and all my equipment, my recording equipment, because this shit gonna be classic. And I know it has a very scenic route and all that, everything. The aesthetic is gorgeous, it's beautiful. Nope. Wyoming is not the whitest state in the United States, sir. No, it is not, sir. Wyoming is not the whitest. Mm-mm. The whitest state is closer to you than you think. That's the only clue I'm gonna give you. You went the opposite route. Yeah, nah, nah, nah. You went the far way. Nah, you ain't even gonna go that far, my boy. The whitest state in the United States is closer than you think, my boy. Closer than you think, my boy. So today's live. I was gonna go live on a person, but the person ended up blocking me on Facebook. I'm live on Facebook and YouTube. You know, I just recently started doing this where people could see me. Maine, yeah, Maine. Maine is the whitest state in the U.S. So yeah, where I'm going is called the Four Corners. It's one of the four corners of the U.S. Canada, you can see Canada from across the river. So that's where I'm gonna be at. But on Facebook, similar to YouTube, I'm a personality. I'm a character. Maybe I say things that are unpopular. I'm very outspoken. Always been outspoken. Um, and I think that's why many people have a disdain for me, or I'm not, I guess, likable, and that's okay. But maybe, perhaps, because of my ethnicity, my appearance, my race, maybe because of my preference in music and women. I don't know. Maybe people will perceive me as equal to them or inferior to them in knowledge and education. Nah, bro. It depends in what area, because I will whoop your ass depending the area, because I hyper focus on being intelligent. I always thought being intelligent and smart and knowing information and your psychology is important. So, that was always a point of interest, something I emphasized on at a young age. And, you know, going to the school I went to and the way I carry myself, the demeanor, like it didn't match up. Like, wait a minute, you're like a regular dude from the hood and you like all this other stuff, but you also find it intriguing to be smart. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool to be smart. I remember when being smart was cool. Well, not really my era, but like a little bit before me. Being smart was cool. And I think that's a negative thing about, that the melanated people go through. They're not really focused on that. Who wants to be smart? Like, whatever, little nerd. Yo, I really buy books and read them. And when I read them, I have a notepad on the side and I write notes. And then on the side of that, I have a thesaurus. And next to that, I have a dictionary. Ain't that crazy? I really do that. So when I have certain conversations or I make certain posts on Facebook or I have a topic on YouTube, people might assume, oh, you just doing for clickbait, rage baiting. Nah, I think this is generally an interesting conversation. When I was in school, elementary school, I had a natural inclination for social studies, civics, history. No one had to force me to like it. No, there was not a GUN in my head. I loved it. Um, I grew up. Some people may or may not know this, but I grew up Jehovah Witness, and I was inquisitive on the Bible, on the Watchtower. In Spanish, is called the Atalaya, awake, or in Spanish, despierta. I would look at them like, and I was inquisitive, like, nah, I don't really agree with this shit. Naturally, I was like a little rebel in the Kingdom Hall. We don't call, and Jehovah Witness don't call church church. We call it Kingdom Hall. Same shit, but whatever. So I always been naturally inquisitive. I always question things. You would call me a skeptic. What's wrong with being skeptical of things? I think that's the problem with human beings. They only look at things from one way. They don't look at it the other way around. So let me see if I could upload. You know what I'm gonna do? Being Yeah, before my time. Before my time, being smart in school was cool. I don't know. Me, I really wasn't interested in education. I remember one night, um, I had homework to do, and for some reason, I couldn't get it done early. I remember being up. To me, this was super late because of my bedtime. I was a kid. It was like 11 that night, and I'm almost damn near crying. And my mom looking at me like, "Why you crying?" They're like, "Ma, because I don't understand this homework and I'm tired and I gotta get it done." I'll never forget that. So like, so when people that's the first thing, when people try to neglect or disrespect my intellect, downplay my intellect, I get in my feelings quick. Like, oh yeah, let me prove you wrong. But people will call you ignorant, because that's a buzzword. Oh, you're naive, you're narcissistic, you're ignorant, you're not. People just throw these words out without really knowing what it means, or without really using it with value. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me I'm uneducated? All right, let's go. Let's go through this merry-go-round. And then I asked them, yeah, definitely. So then I asked them, okay, I want to invite you to my YouTube. Let's have a discussion. Let's have this discussion online, live. This is not rehearsed, not practiced. This is off the fly. We winging it. Let's see who could outperform who. They don't want to take it up. They don't. People don't want to do that because it's all hogwash. People are more emotionally connected to what they perceive versus being studious, doing the due diligence, looking at things, observing things, researching things from different angles, and then coming to a concrete conclusion. No, it's always emotionally attached to something, a preconception. It's almost by default that people have these assertions of different topics. It's crazy. Most people are programmed, bro. Because it's just the easier thing to do. Just go with the flow. You know, it's the easy thing to do. Go with the flow. Now, sit back, question things, and really sit down and read. And you don't want to be part of the complicit bias crew. So you got to really sit down and go and read things that attack or are against of your own beliefs. No one gonna do that. That's hard work. No one's that unique. Who the hell wants to go out their way to do the hard work? Nobody. Um. So anyway, let me see if I could. I'm gonna play some music. Let me read some comments, and I'm gonna play some music because I'm about to see if I can upload these pictures. I know they're watching me on Facebook. Today, some young lady told me I don't know my history. Really? That's my forte. I know history like I know boxing. You know what I'm saying? I know history, specifically Dominican history, like the back of my hand. I lived in DR. I know a lot. I'm saying I know a lot. So um I know more than the average. Matter of fact, I'm bold enough to say I know more Dominican history than the average Dominican person, native Dominican person that lived in Dominican Republic. Me, I was born in New York, and I moved to DR, and I went to school there for 4 years. Wait, like 4.5 or 5.5, something like that. I was out there for school. Wait, 3, 4, 4.5 for 4.5 years. I was out there in DR of schooling alone. Of schooling alone. So yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out DJ Witch. Oh, shit, hold on. Damn. Yeah, shout out to DJ Witch for the $5 super chat. What's going on, brother? Yo, you haven't been live all week. Yo, what's going on? You haven't been live in a few days, right? So let me see. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna play some music, and then we're gonna get right into the action. I wanna see if I'm able to on my phone because I'm not on my computer. My computer's getting fixed. This Nigerian nigga supposed to been fix that shit. He was supposed to fix that shit, bro. 2-3 weeks ago, man. You know what I mean? 2-3 weeks ago, and I'm still waiting. I'm about to pull up to his shop and be like, yo, nigga, you just give me my shit back, bro. You holding me down. I'm just gonna send it to Apple. It's gonna be more expensive, but at least Apple might really fix it. I don't know. I don't know. Me no know. Let me see. Love. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I hate going live on here. I only go because it's hard for like the comments for you to scroll through the comments and post it on the screen. All right, let me play some music. Let's see if I can upload photos on here. That way we could break this down, break this live down. I'm gonna play the Dominican anthem. Usual suspect. I'm gonna play the Dominican anthem. Let's get it. Let's go. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. You know what to do.
Está vivo pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo. Un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo. Está vivo pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo. Un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo.
Tú estás vivo pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo. Dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo. Tú estás vivo pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo. Dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo. Cogiendo luchas con los cotumos en los callejones, capeando los hitas, los cigarros y los peñones. Menores de vaqueo arriba de las construcciones, esperando las misiones. Loco que tú no menciones, los bolsillos llenos de huevos repletos de municiones. Se van a tirar la gente, ya llamaron, se supone. Corre lo que tú quieres, no acuto, no lo abandones, pa' que no venga con cotorras que se soltaron los condones. Dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo. Dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo. Dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo. Dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo. Dico un malo, 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 dico un malo
vivo pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo. Un malo, disco, un malo, disco, un malo, disco, un malo. Está vivo pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo, pa' contarlo. Un malo, disco, un malo, disco, un malo. Es que toditos son contrarios, con su careta puesta falta de grano. Por eso vamos a tener que cacharlo. No pasan de las 5 y 6, 7, porque ellos saben muy bien que de aquí para allá no pasan vivo. En sí me lo contienen el lindraje. Bueno, quiero verte trancado en la oreva la loca, no te me eches para atrás. La menor con una gilet entre la teta y si te moviste mucho diablo sales rajado. Cilindraje. Bueno, quiero verte trancado en la oreva la loca, no te me eches para atrás. La menor con una gilet entre la teta y si te moviste mucho diablo sales rajado.
Tiki un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, tiki un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, tiki un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, tiki un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, dico un malo, tiki un malo, dico un malo.
Pero pasa la Montesino, dije que son malos.
G, Darling Night, la bola blanca, el que tumba la negra.
Yao, la Mesía, 41612.
Adobe, el de la mano nerviosa. Zero Fire Record, La Vaquita, Medina Record. Si no, pregunta a Manuelcita a ver si son de Tola. El vecino RD, bloque 6, bloque 1007, bloque Jeru, una sola red.
JB Swagger, Megadivo, El Tenchi en la volanta, Frago In.
I don't understand. Yo, I had to delete from the StreamYard file. I had to delete like 5 different photos, from the library, just so I could upload this new photo. At least I saw that feature where now I could delete off the StreamYard library. I could delete videos or photos and upload new ones straight up from my phone. I don't have to be on the desktop or the laptop or anything. That's cool. You know, that motivate a nigga even if there's no computer or if on the desktop. If I'm away, I could just go live and upload shit. That makes the things more interactive. You know, it's a little step up. But I think in the times we're living in, we in 2025. We should be able to. I should be able to go to a link or a different page and play a video on here. Give y'all video playback. And y'all can hear my voice, and I'm reviewing it like I'm on my desktop. Like what I usually do with the lives. More interactive sound effects and everything. But I'll say 3 to 5 years. I say 3 to 5 years from now. I say nah. That maybe that's too far ahead. I say 2 years from now you'll be able to do that because podcasting is the new thing, man. It's been getting better and better and better. Low key, people on TikTok podcast already. You know, the competition is fierce. But let's get right into it. Let me go to the picture right here. Damn, can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? All right, I put my phone sideways. Is that wait? It's too small for y'all to see it, right? Oh, look who's alive. Look who's alive, my boy. Wait, so you can't see that, bro? That thing on the screen? What I got on the screen? My guy, Aya, yo, Aya. I forgot your real name. Oh no, no, I remember your real name. Start with an E. I don't want people to get mad or anything. I don't want you to get mad. But yo, bro, I still got you on IG. Nah, I think you deleted me. You blocked me. You disappeared. But y'all can't see what I put on the screen. It's too like small. I'm pretty sure you guys are on your phones, right? That's what I'm saying. Like StreamYard and going live on YouTube, especially if you're doing this type of stuff, it's not tailored for this. Because how can you not see that? Okay, so you could read. All right, so if you turn it sideways, you could read it, right? Yeah, I mean that's the whole purpose. Everyone, if you're on your phone, turn it sideways, and you can see it clearly. This nigga said, "Living a soft life." Eddie, I mean, yeah, come on, bro. Roberto, I'm smarter than you think. Hit the link. We could go back and forth on Dominican history because I was challenged today on Facebook on my intellect. You know, and I'm constantly getting challenged, and I always go to war with people. I want to let them know, yo, I'm not no dummy, bro. Yo, that's the worst thing. You know what the worst thing is in this world when someone undermines your intellect, when they insult your intelligence. That's very condescending. You know, and, and you know to make matters worse is I know how to fight for real. Like, dude, I could delete you with my bare hands over this planet Earth, and you talk to me crazy online. Yeah, on YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, every app you think of, people will talk to you real spicy, not knowing that you will do them dirty. All right, so let me read this shit, right? So she was saying, let's get to the topic, right? She was saying, I don't date black men. Y'all stink. Feet be dirty. I just hate y'all. Spanish and white boys so much better. Right? So me being the troll I am, I said, I know black, I'm Dominican. So there was a girl in the comments like, oh, you look black to me. And I said, I am. We started laughing like, because I'm just trolling, right? Because that famous by Godfrey, the Nigerian fuckboy comedian, made it his point because he's, I guess, so fucking pro black. He's the icon for that shit, I guess, online. And he made it his point to point out that Dominicans neglect their blackness for some reason, which is asinine. And it blew up on the internet. That he made that video like 5 years ago or something, and it just went. It's been going crazy forever. And anytime you're Dominican and people find out, the first thing they say is, "I know Dominican, I know black me Dominican." So I ran with that narrative. Okay, so this black girl, actually, I think she's Haitian. She said, "I don't like black niggas, only Spanish white." So then I'm like, okay, I'm not Spanish, I'm Dominican. I mean, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. Because Spanish, quote unquote, is supposed to be Hispanic. People use that misnomer all the time. That's okay, that's fine. And I reposted that on my page. I said, I don't black me Dominican. It's a joke. Because the girl saying that she don't like black people. So I'm like, okay, I'm not black no more. I'm Hispanic again. I'm a papi again. You know what I'm saying? I listen to bachata, merengue. I wear shoes, loafers with no socks. You know, ESL typical nigga. Listen to Dembo. I drink Presidente. I'm from Washington Heights, Dykeman. Like, your typical Dominican. That was the whole joke behind it. And here come this little Dominican American girl. She's probably a Yono Sabo. Never probably been to DR. don't speak Spanish, Americanized as hell, super assimilate. Yeah, assimilated. So, and she probably only dates. Yo, that this is what drives me crazy. When when there's Hispanic girls, and I've heard this before. Oh, I don't like Spanish men, or whatever. I don't like Puerto Rican men. I don't like Dominican men, whatever they are. I only like black men. So then that confuses me when they say that, right? Because what am I? I'm Hispanic, Spanish, whatever you want to call it, but I'm also a black guy. So that confuses me a little bit. Reek ain't gonna agree with this, but Reek, you're black. And then Reek is gonna come tell you, oh no, I'm light skinned, you know what I'm saying? When you look, nigga, you black, nigga. I'm saying you black, nigga, like you black. So that, but people are gonna look at Reek or a person like myself as if we're self hating, and as if we don't have dark skinned people in our family, which is false. But everything in America is about race, bro. Like it's all about race. It's over the top. So I made that little joke, and then this Dominican girl start going in telling me, "Oh, you are black. You don't know your history." Let me see if I could play that for you. Let me see if I could find that for you. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. I always thought it was weird. Intrepido. I always find it weird when a person hates on their own group. I don't care what group you a part of or pertain to. If you hate or disrespect your own group, your ethnicity, you're a weirdo to me. If you're white, rep your white shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a hardcore fan, but don't disrespect them. That's the minimum. Arab, whatever you are, like you rep your shit, have respect for them, and you don't belittle them. Cause then it's gonna come off as you hate yourself, low key, like you wish you was something else. That was always my personal outlook. I can't judge anyone. I'm not really trying to judge anyone. Just I always found it weird when people belittle their own simply because they like to go outside of their own group when it comes to sex or dating or whatever or friendship. Okay, whatever. Now, so this is the second picture. I'm about to show the second pictures. Um, Gasman says, yeah, he agrees. It might. Wait, somebody said daddy issues. Who said that? Intrepido said daddy issues. Yeah, you know what I think. I think their father. Women who say that, I think yo, that's a fact. Women who say that about their own group, they have daddy issues. They have to. What you mean you don't like? What you mean you don't like the men of your culture? Who did you wrong? Your dad? Your dad didn't show a positive image of your group of men? Damn. I feel bad for you, baby. Yeah, daddy does that is it's a good argument. It's a good I'm not down with the women haters crew. That's not me, but I'm just hey. All right, so let me show the second picture. All right. So now this is when if you put your phone sideways, if you fix it sideways, you'll be able to see this better. Okay. So I reposted this on my page on Facebook, and I said, I don't black me Dominican. The Haitian girl said, I don't date black men. Y'all stink. Feet be dirty. I just hate y'all. Spanish and white boys much better. I jokingly said, I know black me Dominican. Here comes this girl, Tiny Escobar. Whatever. She blocked me, right? She says, Dominican is black. I'm also Dominican. We're still black first. So then I say, Tiny Escobar, it was a joke. I am, meaning I am black. Dominican isn't black, but many y'all. But first, I don't know. So, she was her saying Dominicans are black first. Nah, why is there a race, like a primary race? If we could go check, h- European is the leading race in Dominican Republic. Most people in DR have more European than African. Um, Dominican Republic was, I think, like for the first 40 years, something like that. Sorry, 14 or 40. I don't know. I'm tired right now. It was a mestizo island after Christopher Columbus first landed. It was straight up mestizo for at least 2 decades. At least 2 decades. It was straight up mestizo. Mestizo means a mixture of European and indigenous to the Americas. Native American, right? AKA Native American. So I said that, and she says, "Yeah, you clearly don't know your history. Everyone originates from black people. Dominican Republic literally mostly has black skin." So I kind of like feel insulted when people usually come with the basic kindergarten knowledge, right? Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, Colombians, we're black, Taino, and European, bro. I learned that shit in second grade. Motherfuckers, they'll tell you 2 plus 2 is 4, and they think they kicking knowledge. You're not kicking any knowledge, bro. That's too simple. I learned that when I was in elementary because I paid attention. I retained that. I kept that in my noggin, bro. Motherfuckers come online preaching that shit, bro. We don't care. That's super basic knowledge. Super basic knowledge, dog. Super basic, dog. I've been there. I learned that shit as a jit. She says, "Yeah, you clearly don't know your history." Sorry, she says, "The heritage comes from Africa." What about the European? There's no European influence in Dominicans. They're like, we didn't get nothing from them from the European, from the Spanish, Portuguese. We didn't get anything from them. Hmm? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, she a sellout, bro. Kissing ass. Mhm. Yeah, in Dominican Republic, Gas Mask said it. Even the dark ones have leading European DNA. People don't want to hear that. You know, Gas Mask says when people do the black thing, it's the virtue signal to latch on for victim mentality. Yeah, man, because they want to be on the right side of history. That's not me, dog. That I want to be on the right side. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. You motherfuckers just want to be cool. You just want to be cool. Uh, me, all right. Let me just finish this off. This is the last picture. Because I invited her to come up here, but she didn't want to come up here on the live, yo. Yo, gang. She didn't want to come up here on the live and talk shit with your boy because I be cooking. I've read way too many books in English, Spanish, lived out in DR, went to school there. Out here, I was born in Harlem, right? But I'm from Dykeman, bro. That's Little Dominican Republic. Legitimately, New York City said, "Hey, Manhattan said we're gonna name this area Little Dominican Republic." Bro, I've always been intrigued with my culture because then, when I was young, I moved to Connecticut, and there wasn't really a lot of Dominicans like that out here. It was mostly Puerto Ricans, and I think to this day, yeah, it's mostly Puerto Rican outside of white. You know what I'm saying, like the quote unquote minority group was Puerto Rican, so I was sticking out like a sore thumb. So that pushed me more into learning about who I am or whatever, or my peoples or whatever, right? And this is how I gained all this information. You know, this was just like naturally. I wasn't getting paid for this. I was just a little kid, and I was always intrigued on how things work in society, different ecosystems of animals, geography. I'm naturally into that. I know I know about trivial information, like flags, where countries are located, their population, like all that dumb shit. I'm intrigued by random facts and numbers. I don't know, because maybe I could use it to connect the people for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I mean, Harlem is funny in itself, and yeah, yeah, it's funny what's considered Harlem. Morningside is Harlem, like it's just Harlem pretty much is the lower part of Upper Manhattan. The lower part of Upper Manhattan. Harlem runs up to what, like the hundreds or like the high 90s, something like that. That's when Harlem ends. That's the lowest of Harlem. All the way to like 145th Street, 150th, something like that. So yeah. Wait, did I? Oh, I gotta show the last picture. Hold on. All right. Okay, so this was the last picture screenshot I took on Instagram. So on Instagram, I tend to. I'm sorry, YouTube, Facebook. Sorry, it's way past my bedtime, yo. On Facebook, if I see a post that I agree with or disagree with, I'll share it and I'll give my opinion on it because when you go on Facebook, the first thing it's gonna say is what's on your mind, and I share it. I speak about different things: boxing, dating, food, music, movies, political, social, racial, whatever. I'm very highly opinionated, like everyone else in the world. But my thing is, I have a decent uh, list of friends on there, right? A group of friends on there, a myriad. I'll be real. Probably 70% of the people there I have not met in person ever. but people connect online. You know, we're in the era of information. So some most I could be controversial. So everyone is not gonna be okay with what I say, what I express, and I don't, and that's okay. That I understand. So right here, I'm sharing the screen. If you put your phone sideways, I mean, if you're on a laptop, a Mac, or iPad, you'll see it clearly. But she says that I'm ignorant. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't even know I'm black. Okay, fine, whatever. She's talking about, oh, everything started in Africa. Like, she's like remedial, right? Like, this is things that people were up on 10, 15 years ago. They knew this. People like were speaking about this. And she wants to bring up that elementary knowledge to me. So I say, okay, tonight we can test each other's knowledge live if you're up for it. Or you all talk. She says there's nothing to talk about. Just stop being ignorant and learn your history. Stop being so quick to be up here talking G about you not black when everyone is black and literally originated from Africa, especially your heritage. Dominicans are what? African, then European and Taino. Right? So then I'm kind of like, oh my God, she's adorable. She's like a little 5-year old, you know, spewing this basic information. And so I say, there is something to talk about. I'll school you and prove to you you don't know how to read. Also, that I'm way more knowledgeable than you on Dominican history. So I know that's for a fact because I could cook her on it. Just because I've been studious in this random specific niche of data in the world, Dominican history, because I lived out there. Um, yeah, it's something that I've noticed online and in the world because people have other things going on. They have kids to raise, bills to pay, uh, moves to make. Who the hell cares about history or reading or having a productive conversation? Most people don't know how to have a conversation, man. They lack critical thinking. They lack critical thinking or even abstract thinking. And these are humans who have student loan debts that they have to pay. And they didn't take advantage of the school they went to. The reading neither. They have a low vocabulary and everything, bro. How can I how can we even have what was the last time you read a book, right? What was the last time you actually read literature? When was the last time you did a Google search on etymology? And these are the individuals that we have arguments and debates with online. I'm telling you, it's on one hand I could count people who are introspective and they actually read or even in just natural conversation, they add in this new flavor to the convo where you like, yo, you know what? I never looked at it like that. And oh, that's why you have to deal with people who are open minded. That's how you grow, man. Just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I have to block you, get offended, tell you about yourself. That's a culture I see that happens on Facebook a lot. And it's called my mentality, my bull, where people follow a dogmatic thinking. Shout out to my guy Abdullah, because I always heard about the word dogma, but I never really knew the definition until he broke it down. And those are many of the beliefs people have in this world, or the stance they take, the mindset. The mindset. That's a better word. They have a dogma mindset where they can't be questioned, right? Or they won't even question their own beliefs. They just acting like a zombie, like a computer. The first thing they learned is what stays in their brain. They don't upgrade or update the firmware. You know what I'm saying? It's stagnant forever. Roy Chess, I saw you on someone else's live, Roy Chess. You a panel hopper. You a panel. I think it's partly my fault because I don't go live as much anymore. Rich, as you go to other lives, I peeped it. You're real respectful up there, cause you know what I noticed. You know, black people they're very forgiving. They're gonna give you chances and chances. No, no, no. Actually, my bad. It's the reverse. Black people they ain't gonna chance you. They gonna cook you. Cause that's why you so respectful. But when you come over here on my joint, yeah, I'm black and all that, but I got sazon on me. I got that. I'm black sazon. So you don't respect me. You don't respect my gangster. So you come up here on the panel in the chat, trolling, talking crazy, acting reckless, cause you know you're not gonna get kicked. Or if you get kicked, you're gonna come right back. You didn't last that much on Q Butter's channel, Roy Chess, right? You didn't last long on Cumbia's channel, bro. But basically, this live was about smarter than you think. I've always learned you don't underestimate anyone. You know, in boxing, I always use the analogies and similitudes of boxing in life, or that's the perspective, the lens I view it through is you don't underestimate an opponent or any person because you don't know what they're capable of, what they know, what they've been through. That's why I made this live today, you know, smarter than you think. Um, yeah, don't what's the saying? Don't judge a book by its cover. Be careful. They'll rock you to sleep, man. Be careful who you around. You might think you got one up on them, but not really. I wish I had my soundboard. That way I could play music. This would be more intriguing. But for the next few days until I figure out my computer situation, I will go live on here. You know, I'm gonna do what I was born to do, you know, release and share the information I've accumulated after all these years, you know. Shit. Well, I only have a few people in here and it's almost 1 a.m. I'm knocking the hell out. So thank you everyone for joining, commenting, donating. Shout out to DJ Wish. I know he hit me with a super chat earlier. Tomorrow I'll go live with a different topic, but um I'll make sure that real soon I'll be back in a computer laptop. And just the production of the show, the interaction will be on a higher level. But for now, we out of here. We out. Stay dangerous. Peace.